14 years of chasing court fraud. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Lillie Coley, and this is Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. I just felt a need on tonight to come on to talk about this. It's something about chasing fraud for 14 years that has got me a little crazy. When you sit back and think about what you got to think about regarding this whole piece of drama that we found ourselves in with the court systems of America, 14 long years of chasing fraud, chasing something you know that is not real, is not correct, and is not lawful, but you're still spinning your wheels and trying to spin your way right out of it. And as I was thinking about so many different things that are happening in the news among African American people, it's mind boggling when I think about the killings, the deaths, the people that are not around because of all of that. It's mind boggling. At the end of the day, I just needed to come and talk about it, everybody, because sometimes you got to sit and think about what you need to think about. And when you really do, it ain't good. But you realize that this is part of the journey. And for whatever reason, we have to go through it. But so we're here as a community to talk about it with other persons or people who may have been through similar things or is going through similar things. And we want to make sure it never happens again. So as we're in a situation as the so-called victim, we are going on our way down the street called victors. We're going to be victors in this situation for sure, everybody. And I just wanted to talk about that today, as well as the other things that we sometimes don't always talk about what's really going on or how we feel about something. Because things are not always as they seem. But at the end of the day, it's very interesting to me that we have spent 14 years, everybody, that we have dealt with this circumstance and situation. And here we are where we are, thinking about what we're thinking about, seeing what we're seeing among Black Americans or people or men that are unfortunately killing themselves for all different kinds of crazy reasons. A lot of it's insecurities. A lot of it's jealousy. A lot of it is obviously nonsense. But whatever it is, it's crazy. And it shouldn't be happening. But we as African Americans, unfortunately, have found ourselves in these situations. So what I wanted to do was play a couple things because I'm thinking about my godson, as you see on the screen, and some of the stuff we went through with the shooting of his car. Then there was people that came to my home. There was a lot of stuff that happened. It's when you start seeing these arrests of Big U and all these other things that are going on, you start to wonder. You start to say, hey, something's not right somewhere. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it doesn't. It's not making no sense. It's not making no sense, but it is happening. It's happening. People are getting killed. Arrests are being made. All kinds of things are happening. So I wanted to play just a couple clips. Not going to be on here long, and go from there because we got to keep it. We got to keep it in the forefront. We got to keep exposing it. When you have people's cars being shot up, when you have people coming to your house 4:00 in the morning, when you have a court system of judges, everybody who's putting their names on court orders that were paid for. How do I know? The attorney said it. Kenneth L. Winters, he said it. He said it. Now it makes more sense now today than ever. Of course, it made no sense back then, but it really don't make no sense now. But we're seeing corruption at its, I will say the best, the corruption at its worst. That people are pretty much going through a lot of bad things because of the choices they made, because of their insecurities, because somebody wants to be on top, and all of the stuff in between. And unfortunately, people, innocent people like myself and my godson and many others, have been caught in a web of these lies and corruptions and things of that nature. So I wanted to play a couple clippings of things because, as I said, we got to keep this in front of us. You got to keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes on it. Because unless we do something, say something, and get in good trouble, there's going to be a lot of craziness. So there was two clips. There was one about young Dolph, which is another one that really upsets me when I see it and hear it and all that kind of stuff. That things are getting closer to a finish line with that. And I think that even though it's still sad to see black men go to jail, black men be arrested or turn themselves in, and it's the worst thing is black men are killing themselves, each other. Just shooting their folks' lives up and killing folk. It's crazy. When I think about what I saw out there and the 21 people that were arrested for this, the killings, the gang, and all this kind of stuff, it's just crazy. I mean, dealing with Big U over there in California with these gangs and how all these young men, their lives are just destroyed. I mean, it's just crazy to me. It's really crazy. So at any rate, as I was looking at the things, thinking about my own brothers, thinking about my godson, just thinking about these things, it's kind of hard to deal with, y'all, because it's not good to see stuff like this, to have to deal with things like this, because it's sad. It's very, very sad. But at any rate, here's the Operation Drawdown, as you would call it. Big U's right in there, some other ones. He just turned himself in. All these black men, young men, there's another Spanish, etc. And it really doesn't matter the race, quite frankly. But it's just sad that they have to be killing each other. At what point do you stop this madness? When do you stop? So at any rate, I'm going to go over here to listen to Miss Downlow, and we're going to talk about this a little. I'm just going to play a small clippings. I really don't want to be labor intensive into these things right now because it's depressing. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's depressing. And I just think about what people did with us, how we had to go through stuff. Somebody coming to your house, somebody following you, somebody shooting up your godson's car, all because of what? Because we can't talk? Because we can't come to an agreement? Because, things can't work out for us? I mean, it's ridiculous. But let's listen to this. Miss Lowdown that's on YouTube, and she has some things she wanted to say about the next arrest that's coming up.
To get, and word on the street is, y'all, Yo Gotti is next to be arrested. I don't know how true it is, but this is what people are saying. It's Dolph's turn. They're going to keep rotating until they get this person. Then they're going to keep rotating. After Dolph's turn, it might be somebody else with the P. Diddy stuff. It might even be because they're working their way up to Jay-Z. They are working their way to Jay-Z. They want Jay-Z by any means necessary. They already tied him to a RICO. They're already tying him to street association stuff. Okay? So they're working their way up to Jay-Z right now, y'all. I keep telling y'all this. Okay? And they're gonna take turns with each one, and then they're gonna get back to Mo 3 case, and then they're gonna arrest somebody else in that whole Mo 3 thing. It is going down right now, y'all. And I feel so relieved that it's about time. It's about time. I'm so sick of these people that's been doing all this stuff and getting away with it. And this go to show you that a lot of people in high places knew who all played a part, and they covered this stuff up. And when change lanes, when Trump came in office, and now all of them are being put on blast. Before Trump came in office, they were all hanging out at the White House, y'all. And it's still some of them trying to creep to the White House right now. Boosie, we watching you, baby. Your name that came up in a lot of stuff. Your name that came up with Mo3. Your name that came up with Dolph. So please, okay, please, Duke the Jeweler, okay, all of that. So please do not act like you are innocent. Don't keep trying to call yourself and running up under Trump thinking that, oh, I'm finna get a pardon, this and that and this. They're laughing at you behind your back. Word on the street. Y'all, they're saying Yo Gotti is next. They're saying he's about to get arrested, y'all.
So this is dealing with the young Dolph situation. Once again, another person killed over what? Because y'all couldn't work together? Somebody was jealous of somebody? What happened? I mean, I just, it's like you're shooting up people like they're pieces of meat or something. It's ridiculous. It's so embarrassing to see adult men not be able to handle it, if you will. So the young Dolph case is what we were following as well. Another one, of course, was Big U because everybody was devastated about the Nipsey Hussle, situation. And when he got killed, that was a sad day. Nonetheless, I wanted to keep up with a lot of the things because I think it's important for us to pay attention. So let's listen in what his brother has to say about the whole thing leading up to his death. And of course, we want justice for everybody, but we also want the foolishness to stop. We want that when we have an adult problem, that we sit down like an adult and talk about it, to deal with it and not go around killing somebody. I mean, it's ridiculous because you reap what you sow in this life. Just keep living. You'll see.
Nipsey Hussle's brother is finally breaking his silence on the warning he gave Nip before his death, and it all leads back to Big U. The streets have been speculating for years, but now the feds have the receipts to back it up.
He was supposed to do a job, or somebody sent him or whatever, and he was nervous. He was supposed to hit that alley with the red shirt immediately, but he didn't do that. He came in and he wanted to check the scene. He wanted to make sure he wasn't getting into a shootout.
What you just heard is Black Sam telling us he's convinced that Eric Holder didn't take his brother out randomly. In fact, he was sent by someone to take Nip out, and we now have a strong reason to believe that person is Big U. Because, as you know, we just saw Big U getting indicted the other day, and that is no coincidence. Truth be told, rumors were always flying around about Big U's connection to Nipsey's. Loose Cannon told us about it on multiple occasions.
Big U, you keep posting pictures. Like, bro, nobody is believing that. That's after Nipsey death. Like, tell the world, like, you made the phone call. I'm not saying you had anything to do with it, right? Because I doubt it. But you knew what was gonna happen, and you gave the okay for it to happen. You didn't stop it.
And then he also confirmed it when WAC 100 tried to clarify the story on No Jumper.
You pretty much saying he called you, told you Nip got. You called Nip in a panic. He answered the phone. Mm-hmm. When you hear his voice, you like, well, Nip ain't dead. But you don't warn him what he said. 30 minutes later, you get a call after the fact, Nip dead.
Yeah. But Black Sam wasn't the only person aware of something sketchy going on with Nip's death. SKG said in a TMZ interview that Big U had a hand in Nipsey's death.
All the allegations are true, yeah.
I mean, why do you say so?
Because I was a victim, and the things that he has done to me, he's a monster, and everything that he's getting right now, he definitely deserves it.
SKG even went as far as calling Big U out on her IG page. She also posted a photo of her and Nip with a caption that wrote, "The truth is about to come out about what happened to you, Nip. No matter what we went through, I always wanted to see you win. You deserve to be here. That monster was always jealous of you. The jealousy was real, but your legacy surpassed their hate."
So that is very interesting, as I was saying before, that a lot of this has to do with jealousy. Who's going to be on top? Who's going to be on top? And why can't we collaborate? Why can't you work together? I mean, where did we get this? Oh yeah, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Let's go back to that. But I'm just saying to say, this is very interesting now. Now we have Big U, who supposedly have been over this gang situation in California, that a lot of young people's lives and older have been snuffed out for nothing. I mean, it's sad. So I just wanted to talk about this, as I said, because my godson and I went through a lot of stuff that we didn't have to go through. And part of it was because of these kind of things happening, so forth and so on. Now, because I have not heard this little bit of piece, I'm just going to listen to a little bit more, but I'm really done with this stuff.
On top of that, a federal complaint exposed just how bad things got between Nipsey and Big U. You see, they fell out over a dispute about equipment, and Nipsey even dropped a diss track called You Don't Got a Clue, aimed at him. Things escalated when Big U tried to get Nipsey disciplined over the song, but Nipsey's brother wasn't having it. Reports say the situation turned violent, shots were fired, and LAPD had to step in. Now, to be clear, Eric Holder was convicted for Nipsey's death, and nothing in the complaint directly pins it on Big U. But here's where it gets crazy. Big U is currently facing federal charges for running what prosecutors call a mafia-like operation. The list of accusations includes extortion, human trafficking, and fraud. While the feds aren't linking those
All right, so listen up. Stay.
All right, so that's a good place for it to stop, because I'm not going to be done with the commercials right now. I just wanted to come on, as I said, and talk about the things regarding the fraud in our case and how fraud is expensive. Us chasing fraud. 14 years of my life, Rymir's life, his mother. She may not have had quite 14 because she's not here. For all these years of chasing fraud in a system where it's corruption. So here you got the street stuff, which is corrupt. And then you got the court stuff. And the only one we can really deal with in the open, if you will, is the court. Now, we can also deal with the street stuff by trying to be advocates, run for office, of course, prayer, and do all the community stuff to get these people off the streets. You don't know how to talk to somebody, you don't know how to make a resolution, you don't know how to work through nothing, then you don't need to be in business. Okay, because it's not, you don't need to snuff somebody's life out for disagreements. It's a lot of lives that will be gone. So our thing is chasing fraud is expensive. And it was expensive for us emotionally, financially. I mean, every kind of way it was expensive. And it was done by the hands mainly of the judges, also clients, and bad attorneys, bad judges, bad attorneys, and bad clients, all working together for the wrong reasons. So here we are trying to do what we got to do to make things right, not just for us, but for other people. Rymir's car, as y'all know, had gotten shot up. We had surveillance in our home. There was all kinds of stuff that happened. This is not a joke. And I think I showed the pictures before, but I will show them again. Ain't no big deal. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that we all know what's going on. We're clear on that the system needs to be fixed, that people need to be accountable for what their actions, and that we're planning for it to be something to be done. That this is not going to be a pie in the sky, a fly-by-night thing, that we're planning for things to change and be better. To be better, everybody. So some of you know, if you go back and look at our page, you'll see Rymir's car was shot up. You'll see that there was people that came on the grass. But I'll show you guys the pictures if you want to still see the pictures. I don't know if I can get them in there. I'm going to see if I can not load them up, but, you know, you can what do you call it? You can share it. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, when I come on here to do what I do, I don't really like to stay on too long, and I don't like to talk about the same things over because it can be depressing. I ain't gonna lie. It could be a problem. But I'm gonna see if I can share the screen with that. I probably can't, but I don't know. We'll see. Because I know some people didn't see it. Everybody don't always keep up with certain types of things. But at the end of the day, here it is here. It's Rymir's car that was shot up. And that happened because we had to file something regarding the property or no, it was, in this case, it was the court. We had to do something with the court. The court had, people had came into the courtroom, was what I'm trying to say. And when they came into the courtroom, they defiled the court, if you will, the judges and the client. The client wasn't there, but the judges and the attorneys, I should say. And as a result of that, it had to be dealt with in the legal sense. So when we went to go deal with it on the legal sense, we had to file something with the prosecutor's office. That's what I'm trying to get to. And when we tried to do something with the prosecutor's office, that's when we didn't really 100% run into a problem. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Okay, here it is. All right. So we pretty much tried to do what we needed to do when it came down to that, as far as filing a report, because when somebody does something to your property, you need to go to the prosecutor's office and let them know. And that's what we did. And when we went there was the situation involving someone trying to shoot Rymir's car. That's what I'm getting on to, y'all. My mind is literally somewhere else. I'm not going to stay on here too much longer, because when that happens, I need to just keep moving. But I'm trying to see if I could stop sharing this. That's what I really was trying to do. Go back to the scene here. But you can always, okay, we'll put it here for right now. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. And then the grass thing, I don't know if I can get the grass thing up. When people came on and drove over our grass, that was crazy too. I mean, just like, once again, having to deal with that kind of stuff is just, to me, it's crazy. But all of this to say, the same types of stuff that we're seeing with people doing stuff in the community, when they're doing stuff in the community, which is not good. And in this case here, it would be like this with a property here, if y'all can see it, when the grass, they were riding on the grass. That's our house there, the yellow house there. And this is the tracks on the grass. So all of that mixed up with going to court led to people shooting up his car, because we were looking for justice because somebody did something they wasn't supposed to be doing. That's what really happened. So at the end of the day, I hope you all take this for whatever it is. Do what you can in your community to make your community a better place. Only you can do that. You be the better person. You be the change person in your community. And if you see something, report it. Be good trouble about good trouble, things that is going to be to help somebody else. And don't be violent. You can talk, you can be mature, you can be a better person, you can be a higher person. You don't need to kill people. And don't be around people that do that kind of stuff. Because the young men and the young women that are part of this, something's wrong. If they feel like they can't talk and work this out, and even we have a disagreement, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. So at the end of the day, thank you all so much for listening. I hope something I said was helpful to you, and that you'll be encouraged to be a better person, to be the best that you can. This is Dr. Lil on Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. And I'm glad to be a part of the conversation today so that we could talk about what we need to talk about. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.